It's opening night in Montreal as the 8-time champion Blazing returns to the AFA to take on his longtime rival Miles in a brand new stadium. This game will be crucial for deciding the division standings. Montreal are 2-0. Fresh start. They've had some defensive ups and downs locking in recently. First, they allowed 37 points to Portland, then only 17 to Rochester. It'll be interesting to see how their defense fares against Baltimore. And the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, Miles, reigning National League champion. Can he finally get a win against Blazing in a brand new era? We'll see. Kickoff will happen soon. We'll be right back after these messages. Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup here. Miles has a historically bad record against Blazing, but last season was one of, if not his best, in the AFA. Scoring 45 points in the National League Championship against Portland before falling short to Rochester in the Bloxy Bowl 35-21. Miles started off 0-1 to the same team he lost to last year. Looking to get a win streak going. An upset versus Montreal would be amazing. Montreal favored by 8 points. Well, let's look at the stadium. It's definitely one of the most impressive in the AFA. Just opened. However, it's been shelved since season 12. It was originally going to be the Solar's grounds, but it stood incomplete for almost a year until Montreal picked it up, added so many nice amenities with design elements reportedly inspired directly by the old Alex Park, including the supports. Replacing their iconic former stadium. Montreal will receive the ball first. Blazing with the first possession of the day. Rest in peace to the Arene. Here's Miles to kick it off. An old rivalry renewed. The GOAT is back. Can he win his 9th? The kick fails. He'll try it again. It goes out of bounds before the 50. They're going to have to redo. A little bit of a fake start here. Let's get closer to the mic. Miles to kick off. Blazing to receive. The kick is up, way up in the air. That's going to be taken all the way back for a touchback. Montreal starting at the 30. as per the new kickoff rules. 1st and 25, Blazing. First play of the day. Trying to draw him off sides. Blazing has been working with some issues on his device. Mainly the fact that his screen is blurry, causing numerous offsides in his first game against Portland, which he somehow squeaked out a win. This is going to be first down, tip forwards. And as for Blazing, so far it hasn't been many impressive plays, but he gets the wins. And that's really all that matters in the AFA. You don't need signature plays to get wins. He's going to take that down the sideline. 10, 5, goal line. First down, Montreal. A great run by Blazing brings them down to the 1-yard line. He's going to punch it in for the touchdown. Blazing with his first of the night. Strikes first in the new dome. Minute 11 left on the clock in the first quarter. Here's the extra point. Tags redo. Roblox Blazing up against Roblox here. He gets in. Sneaks by Miles for the extra point. And now let's see how Miles fares with this resurging defense. Remember, as per ConSports odds, Blazing is favored by 8 points here, despite the fact that they haven't played each other in, well, 4 seasons. Here's the kick. That's going to be short. He's going to try to redo it. It goes up. It will be out right above me at the 21. Bad kick initially, but Blazing somehow gets that down to the 21-yard line. A good effort by that special teams. Now here's 1st and 25 for Baltimore. The reigning Offensive Player of the Year, 0-1 so far. Every win is crucial for Baltimore. They need to get in the playoffs. Here's 1st and 25. Now that's going to bring up 2nd and 15. Miles, good run down the middle. Jukes again, gets stopped, short. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10. He is stopped. Tip rule brings up 4th and medium. What's he going to do here? He gets through. Past midfield. First down, Baltimore. Defensive scare for a second, but Miles perseveres. Although with a tip rule, he's going to need to be careful with those. He was committing multiple tip rule violations in the Bloxy Bowl. And that is ultimately one of the things that sold him the game. He's got Blazing chasing him. 2nd and short. Oh, and he gets him off sides. Blazing with a blurry screen. Miles taking advantage. This guy. Here's 1st and goal. I have to say, there are things in the AFA which cross the line of sportsman and unsportsmanlike. There are things in the AFA that are seen as very competitive. As another tip rule violation brings us to the final play of the first quarter, 3rd down. And he doesn't get in! That's going to end the first quarter. We're in the second now. I have to say, this is why people hate Miles. This guy has a terrible screen. Blazing. Device problems. Miles taking advantage of it for his first score. Almost gets stopped. Miles having runs that fall short because of the tip rule. But Blazing's screen helps him persevere. Here's the next kickoff for Blazing's second possession. 7-7 in the second quarter. Minute 59 left. 1 second was taken off the clock there. Blazing gets the ball. Baltimore maybe going to try to kick it out of bounds. But can you blame Miles? To beat Blazing, you have to be as aggressive and as top tier as you can. But we haven't been seeing that offense-wise or defense-wise. Spend more of trying to get him offsides with his blurry screen. Usually working. Here's the kickoff. Miles aiming out of bounds, way deep. Gonna have to redo that. Doesn't look like he will. But take a look at this facility, folks. Beautiful. This is the opening game. Can Montreal secure a win here? It's up in the air. Blazing can receive it. Bounces down to the 15. Blazing gonna try to receive it past the 10. Oh, and he gets stopped. Down to the 5. Great kick by Baltimore. Blazing was gonna have to return that somehow, or Miles could have downed it way deep, and he gets a phase. Another cut past the 15. Another cut. Oh, an evade stops that play. He might want to get a power up so he doesn't jump anymore. Here's second and 15, I believe. Blazing. Oh, and another phase. Can you believe it? Miles can't read this guy's offense. But then again, he gets stopped and it's 3rd and 10. Blazing gonna have to push through. He does not. 4th down. Gonna need the yards here. Baltimore could get a very important stop. Just over a minute left. He's got it. Tip won't do very much. Minute left in the half. Here's 1st and 25. Charges forwards. 2nd down. Miles has historically had problems trying to stop Chew Clock. Although he almost did stop him. Blazing getting short runs. That's going to bring up 3rd and medium. 40 seconds left. Baltimore takes their first timeout. Trying to draw him offsides. Does not work. Blazing in range to get the 1st down. Will Miles call another timeout? Yes, he will. 36 seconds. 4th down. Here's Blazing. He's got it and more. Trying to keep the clock going as much as he can before the 30-second warning. That's going to bring up one last play until the 30-second warning. Great for Blazing. He goes forwards. Down to the 20. Will he keep that yardage? Spinning in a circle. Miles just has no answer for this guy. Now here's the 30-second warning. Baltimore retains 1 timeout. Here's Blazing. Sweeps left. Miles stops him. Doesn't get good yards there. Baltimore uses their last timeout. Now they're going to race to determine if the speeds are right, but I'm pretty sure they are. Miles skeptical of the speeds, even though he put in the system to see who has the speed. Not sure what he was thinking. Just barely not offsides. Tags redo. Here's another evade. Time winding down. Blazing gets through for the first down and more. Ball is forwards. 12 seconds left on the clock. Miles out of timeouts. Blazing could waste the whole half if he wants to. And he will try to. 6. Oh, that's going to need 6 seconds left on the clock. Montreal calls their first timeout. Here's Blazing. 2nd and goal. He's going to need a timeout here. 2 seconds on the clock. It will not work. Now here is the play where Blazing needs to punch it in. He gets it. Last play of the first half. Montreal responds. Blazing takes another lead. Oh, and he gets offsides. Now a really short 1 point. No need to worry about Baltimore's defense here. Will he try to go for 2? He just takes the easy extra point. 14-7. Baltimore up at the end of the first half. Montreal. I keep getting them mixed up. Miles was clowning on Ozuna during the RSN stream of Cincinnati versus Rochester. So I'll give you some lore on this rivalry. Miles has hardly ever beat Blazing. Blazing has dominated this rivalry. If Miles wins this, it's a colossal upset. I mean, throughout the years, Baltimore's kryptonite, despite their high-flying offense, is usually just Blazing. The kick is up. That might have been down at the 5. More of up here. Baltimore gets a deep start. First down. Blazing was not ready. 1st and 25. Here's the first possession of the second half. Baltimore down by 7. Needs to recover. Miles having Blazing chase him. 2nd and short. Already a good run to start things off here. Pushes through. Miles starting to lock in on offense. Blazing has no response. And he goes off sides. Again with Miles taking advantage of that blurry screen. Kind of was, but, you know. Blazing keeps having to chase Miles' tail here. Wonder if he'll take a strategy of going in front from here on out. That's going to bring up 3rd and medium. Miles needs yards here. He does have his fake field goal. Again, edging the tip rule. 4th down. He gets through. Barely gets the first down. Minute 11 left in the quarter. Time winding down. Miles tips forward. And you got and another tip rule violation by Miles. Miles blaming the placement, even though he keeps, and again with it, not that play, but he usually just edges the tip rule and gets the violation every time and then gets confused when all of a sudden it's 4th and medium and he doesn't have the yards necessary for a run. That's what was killing him in the Bloxy Bowl. And he gets stopped! Blazing now with a chance to stop him. 2nd and goal. Miles will take it down. A very long drive. Now he is trying to waste time. I'm not sure if this is a good strategy. Tip rule. Brings him back a yard. Here's 3rd and goal. Time winding down the 3rd quarter. Miles. And he's in. Touchdown, Baltimore, to tie things back up. 13-14 with the extra point. That'll be tie. Games between these teams are never too exciting, as Blazing usually takes the upper hand. The tip can't bring him back. Baltimore will tie things up. And let's take a trip down memory lane. Season 14, I believe, or season 15. I'm not quite sure. Maybe before that. It was the Troll Bowl. Held in R&R. As Montreal couldn't use their home yet. The kick is up. That's going to be taken to the 30. But either way, Blazing had a quarter and a half to waste. And he did waste it all, giving Miles absolutely no chance, winning 20-17 in a low-scoring game. Gets forwards. And we're going to be back in a second for the 4th quarter. Just have to set things up for it. This game has been going by relatively quick. And I think Miles knows what Blazing is trying to do here, as he does stop him. He's starting to read Blazing's offense, and Blazing is starting to read Miles' offense. Both teams need to be very careful. Here's Blazing. 3rd and long. Gonna get a good juke through. Does not get the yardage for a fake field goal. He has to get this or he has to punt. He was 1 block away from a fake field goal. Oh no! Oh no! That's terrible. Oh, that's heartbreaking for Montreal. Blazing decides to not take the power up earlier in the game, and Baltimore has the ball. A crazy lucky break for Miles, and now Blazing knows it. He should have taken the power up. Miles agrees. Now Miles 1st down with a renewed chance. An 8-point upset this would be. 2nd down, taking quick runs to either side. Moving left and right motion, trying to get Blazing confused. Just edging the play clock. Now here's 4th down. Calls a timeout at 48 seconds. 4th down, Miles gets through, down to the 19. 1st and goal, Baltimore with a chance to win this thing. 48 seconds on the clock. And he gets stopped. Ball placement brings him up, but geez. 44 seconds left. Montreal, 2 timeouts left. Will he call another timeout? No, he will not. He has to run another play before 30 seconds. He gets... Tipperl's going to bring him back. Here's 4th and goal. Here's a 30-second warning. 29 seconds on the clock. Really quick 30-second warning. Baltimore has a lead now in unlikely fashion. Blazing made a mistake in choosing not to get a power up. which he could have done to avoid all the evades he's been committing tonight. Sorry, wrong team. I mean, you just expect a blazing win. But then again, despite the Miles lead, despite 29 seconds on the clock, this is what Blazing is known for. Even if you dig him in a ditch, he'll still find a way out. Blazing still has one timeout. 29 seconds. Here's Miles for the kickoff. Second time Blazing has gotten stopped in 2 games. The kick is way up. That's going to be a close call. That's going to be a touchback. Or not. That would have been taken to the 20. Here's the final drive of the game. Blazing with a chance to take this into overtime. If he gets a touchdown and the extra point. Miles going to try to kick this out of bounds and get good yards. It would be at about the 20. Just above the camera. At the 21, just 1 yard better than he would have gotten if they didn't redo. Here's Blazing. First down. He gets out of bounds. 25 seconds remaining. Does get good yardage there. Not out. He's going to need to hurry up here. And he does. 40, 35, 30, 26. I mean, can you believe this? Now he's very back in this game. We might actually have overtime if Blazing hurries up here. He still has a timeout. He needs to use it here. And he does. 10 seconds on the clock. Out of timeouts. He can punch this in for overtime. Second down, Blazing. Gets out of bounds. 6 seconds left. Now it's third and short. Tags redo. Montreal to punch it in. Gets the first down. Good call by Blazing. 3 seconds left. Going to make sure Baltimore doesn't have a chance to respond. He is going to be in. Scarily close, but Montreal back in this game, 20-21. Now here's the extra point to decide it. The end of regulation after this play. Here's the all-important 1 point. Gonna try to make this easier on him. Gonna try to draw him off sides. He is in. Overtime in the brand new dome. Starting to be a thriller here. We're gonna set up for overtime. I believe one of the first times this has happened on this network. Out of so many games broadcasted, you'd think there would at least be a few overtime games, but honestly, no. Montreal with a 29-second drive to get back into this game. And I wasn't joking. I wasn't trying to pull any legs when I said that Blazing has a way to come back. He was down 14-0 in Rochester a while back. And guess what he did? He came out and won, only allowing the Express to have 3 points from there. And apparently the Ravens coach, John Harbaugh, was fired. Does this mean Baltimore could finally get a playoff game that isn't a heartbreaker? Who knows? Speaking of Baltimore, here's the overtime coin toss. We will be right back after these messages. Baltimore wins the coin toss again. But no matter what, They both get ball. So now, Miles will receive 21-21 here in overtime. As it'll start shortly. Blazing gonna start on defense. Gonna need a stop. He can get a stop, but we've only seen glimmers of a defense. Not quite a full-on stop yet. Miles does have to score before the 30-second warning, or else it'll be an automatic turnover. And he certainly does not want that. Noob has the rules down. Miles has the rules down. Does Blazing have the rules down? Blazing going to kick it off to Miles here in a second. To start off overtime, the first in Season 19. Oh, he does not. So they have a 2-minute quarter. Unlike the NFL, they do retain all 3 timeouts, as there's no rule against 3 timeouts in overtime. The way his kick is looking, looks like it's going to be out of bounds, but he kicks it another way. That's going to be up. Miles is going to be pinned deep. That's going to be a toss-up, and Blazing gets it and downs it at the 21. No time taken off. Here's the first snap of overtime. Miles. Do they have their speeds? Miles does. Now Blazing does. Well, Blazing said he's just going to play football. A decent stop to start things off. Blazing needing to attend to business. And let's take a look at this graphic. And what no better time to put it than overtime. He actually has 8 rings. Not counting the laser career. That's going to be tip rule. 4th and short. Here's Miles. He gets past midfield. The ball placement brings him past. Blazing does have time in his hands. He could force a tie or even better, a win. Blazing is kind of starting to force some defensive momentum here. However, having to chase Miles. Not 2 seconds. 3rd down. Miles does get through. Oh, no, he doesn't. Because of the tip rule. 4th down. He gets through. Miles not trying to waste too much time here, surprisingly. He can waste up until the 30-second warning, in which case it'd be a turnover. Blazing can dig into his 3 timeouts. And he is. He's going to be. Now he's just trying to waste time here. Oh, no, the tip rule brings him back again. Lots of phases there. However, he just cannot catch up to Miles in that very moment. Here's 2nd and goal. Play clock coming shortly. 3, 2. Miles snaps it. Gets stopped. Blazing, you need your timeout. And he gets just before the 30-second warning at 32. Blazing was working with a 29-second drive, and he did get it. Baltimore with a lead in overtime. Blazing going to need to respond. Now Blazing could tie things up, or he could score really quickly. And then an onside. And if he gets it, he could very easily kick a field goal to win it. Miles cannot kick it onside. Here's Blazing. And it would be a shame if the game ended in a tie for both teams, but that's what it's looking like, as Blazing can pull off touchdown drives in remarkable fashion. Does retain 2 timeouts. He has a play left before the 30-second warning. He has time on his hands. For any other player, it's a challenge for Blazing. It's just another small obstacle. He will receive it. Past the 20. Down at the 22. 30-second warning. Gets a few yards off that. Here's Blazing. Gets out of bounds. 27 seconds left. Tags redo. Blazing gonna get past Miles. Yes, he will. That's gonna bring up 3rd and short. 23 seconds. Baltimore's defense crumbling in such an important situation. He can punch through for the first down here. Only wasting 2 seconds off the clock. He will not be tipped back. He can fake field goal. No team has used it yet. He will go out of bounds. 17 seconds left. Time is on his hands. Jukes past Miles. Down to the 15. Another 5-second play here. Blazing 1st and goal. Gets past Miles again. He can use a timeout. Baltimore uses a timeout. 7 seconds. Will he punch it in? Oh, wow. What the heck? Wow. That was odd. That was odd. Now here's 2nd and goal. 7 seconds left with a chance to tie it. He's in. 6 seconds left. If Miles gets a stop here, it's game. If Blazing gets through, it could be a tie. Or he could go for an onside and win. Here's the 1 point for the game. Oh no, oh, he's in! Looked like he was going to be stopped. This exact same thing happened on the extra point going into overtime. Now tied up at 28-28. Blazing's going to go for an onside. Now here we go. Whichever team gets this has a solid shot of winning with a field goal. Play of the game here. This decides it. Basically, almost. Oh! Blazing might have got that behind Miles' back! Wow, that was close. Timeout, refs. We're going to need a review. Well, after an official review, it's Miles' ball. What a close return. Blazing thought he had that. We thought that Blazing was in front, but actually Miles. Now he can take the field goal now. He can take whenever. Miles is going to take 1 play left. Doesn't get many yards there. Now here's for the field goal. Here's for the game. From 49 yards. Blazing could lose off of a mistake. All pressure on Baltimore. A miss could end in a tie. Not returnable. Could be a colossal upset here. Miles with the kick. Blazing to try to block. He's going to take a practice kick. My voice is starting to die out. I don't know how after only one game. Oh! Oh! What a failure! He runs it over and it doesn't move. And an unlikely scenario, a tie after a blazing evade. Wow. That's wild. What an ending to a matchup between two good teams. Special teams mistakes prevail. We'll see you next time for Cincinnati versus Jamestown or another game. Miles lucky to escape with a tie. So is Blazing. 28-28. A tie is your final from the Quebec Dome in Montreal. We'll see you next time.